Some people might call her crazy. I just tell them that's my baby.
I'm Lily Conrad. I'm a singer, a teacher, music educator, keyboard player, producer, songwriter, baby forever. You know, I always tell people it's pop, but to me it's more than that, or like art pop. You know, I'm really inspired by like Caroline Polachek and Charlie XCX. They're like pop stars, but it's, you know, like kind of on the fringes of that pop thing. Yeah, so art pop, I guess, jazzy pop. I used to call it dream pop, but then I realized dream pop is like a genre that is pretty guitar driven, really traditionally. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's baby. It's twinkly pop music. You know, it's cute. My boyfriend, my life partner, we've been together a really long time. He taught me how to use Ableton when we like very first got together, pirated it for me. Don't call the cops. But it just like opened up this world of being a songwriter for me. I had never written a song before I learned how to be a producer. And so it just, yeah, opened up this world of who I could be as a performer. It always felt like you have to have a band and you have to know how to play the guitar really well or know how to play the piano really well. And so, yeah, really just laptop music, yeah, just is my bread and butter. It's how I know how to be a performer. So Bobby's why I started. So laptop music again. I use Ableton. I do it all at home. I just use the same mic that I use on stage to record. That's something, you know, as I continue going. I have my first album out now, but as I continue recording, I want to get into better microphones, especially since I'm a singer. That's something that's important to me to kind of start getting into nice microphones and stuff. But yeah, I just do it all at home. Headphones on in my room, singing in the microphone, very DIY. I do, indeed. Yeah. So I have a bachelor's in jazz voice, as you know, and then also a bachelor's in music education. Teaching music is really important to me. And yeah, the jazz side of it just changed my life forever. I wouldn't be performing in the way I do, writing in the way I do, if it wasn't for that jazz background. Yeah, it's really influenced the way that I write my songs. I'll like produce pretty much a whole track and then just improvise scat over it until I find a melody that sticks and sounds really good to me, like a rhythm or just a lick that I really like over the track. And then from there, I'll go into my notebook and find lyrics that fit with that kind of like improvised solo that I did over the song. Where I think if I didn't spend so much time working on improvisation in a jazz sense, that my just writing style at all would be completely different. But you know, when you really listen to a Baby song, if you were to like transcribe it, whatever, or try to learn it, it's all really simple. So it's influenced by the jazz voice thing, but at the same time it's kind of a departure from it because really it's pretty simple music that I'm doing. It was hard, to be honest. it's a lot of pressure, I think being in music school and it was such a blessing to work with these like super rock star high up working musicians taking lessons every week. And the thing of, oh, is it going to be good enough for this performance or for this lesson, or did I practice enough? And so honestly, it's like 2.5 years I've been out of it now, that it's been kind of a lot of unlearning of like, I'm a teacher, so I sing all day at school. Or when I get home, I don't always have to go sit down and practice and sing more, where in college it was very much that pressure to always be working, learning something new, getting better and better and better. But I think since I went through that whole process, it just kind of set me up to be a little more chill about it these days. Um, and yeah, I just met so many cool people and really learned how to be part of like a sonic group, a sonic plan, everyone knowing this song so well that we can just like look at each other and play it for each other, and the chart goes away, the song goes away. And that, some of my best friends, like dearest relationships musically and just like friendships were made, playing jazz together at Metro. It was awesome. Hard, but awesome. Oh, it's so great. I love it. I had 2 schools today. I work with really young kids. They're 2 to 5 years old. And so it's just really fun to let go of any kind of judgment or expectation and just have fun and be silly and wiggle around and dance and do crazy things with your voice and just explore the joy of making music and listening to music too. And this year I've learned kids love disco. They love it. It's so cute and it's so fun to dance with them. And it's really been a blessing. Thanks, Swallow Hill. Shout out Swallow Hill Music. Love it. Oh, I love to dance. I love it. I spend a lot of my life dancing for fun, going seeing DJs, dancing with my friends. It's a huge part of my life. And in the last few years, I have been working on taking my love to dance for fun and putting it into my live show. Honing in on what feels good, dancing to my own music, poses that I like to do that feel like strong and powerful. Because I'm a singer, that's my main thing, but I want to like put on a show too. I want to be an entertainer. So dance, has really become a big part of what I do on and off the stage. It's so fun. In like the simplest forms, lately, or just at my last show that you were at, my voice was just feeling so good and I felt really strong. And like I was saying earlier, it's not like I'm like practicing every day as much as I used to, but just singing with the kids. And lately I've been wearing a mask because they're little and gross and get sick all the time. And so singing through the mask and it's been really good for just like my vocal stamina in that way. And then as far as like performance goes too, it's like I'm kind of performing all day for the kids. I'm going crazy to keep them engaged and involved with me. And so that has been a cool thing too. Just confidence of like being in front of people all the time. And I've always been pretty silly with my songwriting and my stage presence. And if anything, that has informed my teaching more than the teaching has informed that. That's just kind of a part of who I am. And so, being silly on stage with my lyrics, with the audience, it's totally translated into my teaching style and how I interact with the kids. They are in my basement always. I have like a scary dungeon basement that I keep them in. Shout out to my friend Kat Fenna, dope artist, like one of my many muses. All my best friends are my muses. All my songs are about, all these people I love, and they're one of them. And they got the baby heads for me years ago, like 3, 4 years ago now, and fashioned them into these functional masks. There's all this padding inside, so it's like comfortable to wear. Yeah, and it was all Kat's idea. They're awesome. I love bringing them out for big shows. People get all stoked, and it's fun since I perform solo. It's like the babies are my band. My little backup dancers. It's fun. Yeah. Um, I've been doing Baby for quite a long time, like 7 or so years, in different iterations, and it's grown a lot and become so much more than it was before. But usually, like a week out, maybe about a week out, I'll kind of run through all my songs that I'm into at the moment, usually newer ones, and sometimes I'll revisit old ones just to kind of remind myself the vibe of all of them and see how it feels in my voice and feels in my body. And then after doing that, I'll figure out, oh, is it a 45-minute set, 30-minute set? Whittle it down to the set list that feels good. Run those throughout the week. And it's kind of cringe, but I definitely practice my movements. And so I'm in my room, like feeling what movements feel good to what songs, so that once I get in front of people, it just feels really comfortable. Yeah, so that dance part is definitely a part of my prep, and then my loopy stuff, which I haven't released any of yet, but I try to do it at every show on my vocal looper, and that stuff I definitely practice the most because it takes a lot of precision, just hitting the button at the right time, tuning the chords up just right. It takes a lot to get it just right and get it feeling good to be in front of people. So yeah, that week before the show, and like the day of, maybe I won't run through the whole set, but the loop stuff I'm always working on because I want it to be sounding really good. Yeah, thinking about this question, I just have such a supportive group community around me. My parents come to almost every show. My best friends come to every show. My partner, my brother and sister-in-law come to almost every show. Like, just all this family and friends that, looking out, and I guess I don't really get nervous that much anymore, but it just feels so good to see my loved ones out there and, still by my side after all this time. And that's always a highlight, just, yeah, seeing those wonderful people come out to support. And yeah, think of specific shows, and both at Globe Hall, I guess. Yeah, Globe Hall, I just like playing there. It feels good. You're up high. I opened for Donnie Benet there like 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah, 2 years ago now. And that it was so crazy. It was like a sold out show, and I've followed him. He's hilarious. He's so fun, and so it was huge getting to play with him and play for such a big crowd. I had the babies at that show, and that was just so fun. And then this summer, also at Globe Hall with this local band, Waiting Room, and it was their like farewell show. But that was just such a cool show too. There were lots of friends there, and yeah, it just felt really good. I felt good on stage. The dance moves were hitting. The babies were there, and yeah, that was just a really special show too. Felt like the beginning of a new era of like myself as a performer. It was special. So much stuff. Think about like, oh my gosh, what, like the ideal live show, like the dream live show. I saw Solange a few, like, I don't know, years ago now, But it was so, oh my gosh, she had a full marching band, crazy backup dancers that were also her backup singers, and a full band, and she's just the total pop star, like dancing so hard in front of it all, but she's part of the group too, and that's just the total dream, to just have like a giant band playing my songs and really filling it out and having it be like a spectacle like that. And I've always loved Katy Perry too, and she goes so hard with her live shows, like the whipped cream guns, and she's flying over the stage. Just, yeah, lots of, I don't know, it would be fun to just have it be really crazy and ridiculous. But with that, I'm behind my computer playing the keyboard and stuff. So if I were to go full pop star kind of thing, it would be like hiring a band probably, and like hiring people to play all those parts so I could just, be dancing and doing choreography and whatever. Yeah, but maybe one day. The horns too, that, yeah, would be super cool. Lately I've been working harder to actually use my MIDI controller. I kind of just use it as a keyboard, or historically I've just been using it as a keyboard. And lately I've been trying to incorporate more like kind of DJing my own songs and mixing and putting filters and like beat repeat and adding things so I can play and trigger and have the live song have some more like live mixing to it, rather than just hitting play and just letting it play. Just adding more of that live element. And then I've also thought about starting a band or bringing some other people in, whether drum set or bass, or a different keyboard player. Yeah, all things I've been dreaming about. That one is tricky. And I'm like, dang, is this something I should dream about more? And thinking about it, I just think of this Boy Harsher song. And it's featuring Cooper B. Handy, Autonomy, they're on the move. It's so cool. The lyrics, the production is so sick. Where like working with someone like Boy Harsher, or like, a producer that I really look up to, and like writing a song like that together. Because Cooper B. Handy's music is kind of similar to theirs, but different enough that then when they came together, it was just something really beautiful. So yeah, I guess something like that. But yeah, I really don't know. Or, one of my faves is Charlie XCX, Queen, Mommy. She's a dope producer, pop star, singer. Yeah, and it would be like a total pipe dream to work with her too. She's awesome. Baby is my favorite term of endearment. I call everyone baby all the time. My mom does too. I feel like I totally got it from my mom. Where it just sounded cute. And, when I wrote that first song, and me and Bobby made that first song, yeah, Baby just was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, this would be a cute name for this like little twinkly pop project. Yeah, and it just stuck, and now I don't know, it's fun having done it for so long. It like feels like it's a part of me. It like feels like it's my name kind of. It's fun to have. It's become almost like an alter ego for Lily. When I'm performing, then it's Baby. It's like she's like my whatever. I'm her Clark Kent, Oh, influences. I could talk about it forever. I love Joni Mitchell so much. I think I like got introduced to her doing the jazz voice thing, and I just totally fell in love with her whole discography. She's a great artist too, a visual artist, an amazing poet, and her vocal prowess is just crazy. I love singing along to her. I think learning her songs has really helped my voice to grow into what it is today, singing along to Joni. I love her. I like definitely my music doesn't sound like her at all, but she's always in the back of my mind. And then I don't know if this one's a shock or not, but Bowie, I love Bowie. His delivery and just his stage presence, he's so strong, and the dancing and his suits, like him and David Byrne too, the same thing. Just the delivery and the dancing, it's super super inspiring to me. I am, yeah, yeah. I'm really into it. My dad is a painter, so I grew up around a lot of visual art, and that was a big thing he did with us when we were kids. You know, we were always drawing and painting. And these days, I have been loving making collage art. You know, cutting stuff up and gluing it together, and then painting over it sometimes, or you know, in jazz school, we had to print out all these charts for juries. It's like your final, whatever, pass out all your charts to all the judges, the faculty that are grading you. And so I had these stacks of charts, and so I started cutting those up too. And you know, since they were vocal charts, they would have lyrics. So cutting the lyrics up and kind of writing new poetry out of these old jazz charts. Yeah, and I love collaging, and my album cover and my single cover for Cry Baby Cry too. Those are collages that I've made. It's fun. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like that's kind of the next step for me for sure. Yeah, I love going on road trips and just yeah, going on tours sounds like a total dream. And I think it'll happen soon too. I'm starting to make some connections. You know, just like in New Mexico, even just going to doing a little like Southern Colorado, New Mexico thing. But yeah, I think within this next year, that's something I definitely am planning on doing. Be fun. Take the show on the road. Oh, that one's funny. I'm sure I do, but I like can't think of any. I got like when I was like 19, I started this when I was 19, and I used to get really drunk before because I was so scared. And I would stay like hide behind my keyboard stand all the time. And just like thinking back on that, I'm like, girlfriend, like what were you doing? Or you know, like younger musicians, you're always people apologize like when you mess up. It's like, "Oh, sorry," you know, that kind of thing. That I'm glad that those are things that I've grown out of, you know. What else? I'm like, I've never fallen on stage, surprisingly. I'll practice in my heels too. If I want to wear heels, I'll like wear them around my house the whole day before to make sure I don't fall. But yeah, I don't have any fun stories from that one, surprisingly. Surprisingly. Boring answer. Let me clean these off. Yeah, I've always, you know, I started guitar when I was like 6 and did that all through childhood. Had an awesome teacher, and I played cello, and in high school I was really into it. I joked that I switched to voice because the cello was too big, that I didn't want to carry it around singing. You don't have to carry anything around. But I didn't really start writing music until like my late teen years. Like really once I learned how to produce music, I started writing. But it was always like choir, orchestra, that kind of thing. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I started making my own stuff. Hmm. You know, I say this to people all the time. I got some great advice from my dear friend Wes Hughes. Shout out Wes. He's so awesome. And he makes electronic music as well, and for a while was performing solo like I do. And he just told me once, he's like, Lil, you just gotta pick your battles. Where I was trying to like play the glockenspiel and then go and play my looper pedal and then go and play the keyboard and then also like sing and have my voice sound good. And it's when you try to do so much at once, it takes away from all of it. Where it's like, okay, I'm going to play keyboard on 2 songs on my set and practice that a lot so I can sing along with it. And then this one, I'm going to really just like focus on my voice and dancing. And this one, I'm going to do this and just, yeah, really picking your battles. And, practicing a lot and spending that time doing it alone where it just feels so comfortable when you get up and share it with other people. We talked about tour, I think. Just released this album, and of course I want to, get crack-lacking on the next one. But yeah, going on a tour is definitely a big goal. And yeah, I touched on this before too, but yeah, just bringing some other people into the project and expanding it, making it a bigger event, kind of more of a band thing. It was so fun. It was so cool. My friend Jake Hamby, I'm doing all these shout outs. He's so awesome. He is like a total pro filmmaker. And I feel so lucky to have worked with him and to know him. He brought in all these lights and brought in like a gaffer to help with the lights. And we just did it at my apartment, which was so fun. Totally turned it into it like felt like a movie set. It was so cool. And we kind of like co-directed it. He was awesome, being really sensitive to my ideas and what my vision was for it. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Coming out March, hopefully, sometime this early spring. And it was really fun. And again, with the dance, it was like 2 whole days of just dancing for this camera and singing along to my song. And yeah, it just felt really good. And I felt like I honed in on some cool moves, that I've been doing on my live shows. So it was, yeah, just really good practice. I think it's all practice. And yeah, it was cool to perform in a very different way. Because it's one thing being on a stage in front of like 100 people, but being all by yourself in front of your one friend with the camera is like a totally different, kind of almost like more vulnerable experience. So yeah, I'm really grateful I got to do that. It was cool. Excited to share it. Ooh, man. I would still be a teacher for sure. And teaching preschool, I just do preschool music now. But teaching preschool, I could see myself even just going and just being a preschool teacher one day. And of course, I would incorporate a lot of music into my classroom. But yeah, that's a huge part of who I am as a person, being a teacher. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely what I would do. Yes. Yeah, my family, my parents are so supportive. My best friend and roommate, Taylor, she comes to every single show. She made this necklace. Shout out Taylor, Metal Muses. She's awesome. Yeah, just so supportive always. My friend Kat, I mentioned earlier, yeah, just inspires me and is so supportive. My partner Bobby, my friend Beck Perez, he let me use his mini log on some tracks on the album, and I love playing that thing. It's so fun. Yeah, just my community. I feel so grateful for all these people that, yeah, just really support what I'm doing. It makes it feel like I'm doing something right. It's good stuff. Thank you. We did it. Loading, loading, loading.